Sorry, YouTube Nation. Let's see some games going today. Lay. Sorry, dude. Yeah, so anyway, this is what we laid out for distance form and midpoint, where we graphed it, we found the distance. Now we're going to do the midpoint. Midpoint, we add the x values, so 3 plus negative 2 divided by 2, and negative 6 plus 4 divided by 2. And so I get a 1/2 and a negative 1. Is that in the fourth quadrant? It sure is. And so you can see, what's that? So so again, we're finding the average. So we add them together and we divide by the number that there are. Okay. All right. So let's do it again. I'm going to plot these points. And as I plot them, let's see, 2, negative 1. Right there. And negative 3, 11. Hey, 3, 11. Everybody a 3, 11 fan. It's a band. Kind of really famous. You guys like Hannah Montana, Justin Bieber. Okay. So I would guess that the midpoint should be close to like maybe negative 1/5 or something like that. Let's do the distance. The distance is equal to the square root of, subtract the x values. Negative 5 squared is 25. 11 minus negative 1 plus 144. Because you square 12, you get 144. So this is the square root of 169, which is 13. Sweet. So that's a length of 13. I find the midpoint. I have 2 plus negative 3 divided by 2. And negative 1 plus 11 divided by 2. So I get negative 1/2 and 5. So that looks like it's represented well in my graph. And I'm just using it to check the reasonableness of my solution. Please make sure that your midpoint you list as an actual coordinate. It is a coordinate that you plot. Okay? So use your parentheses in your correct notation. Does everybody agree that when you get to your test that these should be gimme points? So get the points, because I will warn you that I get a lot of students who get these wrong on the test. They mess up their negatives. They don't subtract correctly. They go through it too quickly. Take your time. Get these points. Don't settle for partial credit. Okay, here's the second problem we're going to do, and it'll be done for the day. Checkpoint takes a while for today, so that's why we have a short lesson. Draw the triangle formed by the points 2, 2, 5, 6, and negative 3, 2. What kind of triangle is it, and what is its area? So first of all, we're going to classify a shape. What are the different types of triangles that we have? We have right, we have acute, and we have then obtuse. Okay, and we have equiangular. So those all have to do with angles. I'm not talking about angles right now. We're going to be talking about lengths of sides. So if I'm talking about lengths of sides, what kind of triangles do we have? Isosceles is the most popular one mentioned. Equilateral. And scalene. Okay. All right. So isosceles, 2 sides are the same. Equilateral, 3 sides are the same. And scalene, no sides are the same. So I'm going to plot these points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. plot 2, 2. Plot 5, 6. And plot -3. Why do I... Second time I've done this. Go away first off. I'll do my handy dandy trick here with the smartboard. Cheater. Okay. So how will I go about classifying what kind of triangle it is? I will have to find the distance between 2 points in order to find the length of each side. So this length is easy to find, isn't it? Just count, you get 5. Now, for this one here, that might be more challenging. If you're on the ACT, you might actually use the distance formula, but let's use the Grace method instead. Okay? So let's just drop a point right here, and let's do this. Is that nice? Okay, so what do we got? What's this length? 3, this length? 4, so that's going to be, because it's a 3, 4, 5 right triangle, if you do 3 squared plus 4 squared, you get 25, square root is 5. Good. So we know it's not scalene, so it's either equilateral or isosceles. Well, how do you know it's not equilateral? How do you know? So YouTube Nation, my class is asserting that they know that this side is longer than the other two. How do you know that? Because it looks like it. Not good enough in mathematics. Let us show, let's find the actual length. Okay? Not good enough. Find the actual length. Okay? So, and before you freak out, I do have a nice right triangle drawn for that whole piece, don't I? What's the length of the bottom? 8. So I have 8 squared is 64. How tall? 4. So 16. I get the root of 80. Is that 5? Is that 5? Is the root of 85? No. What can you take out of the root of 80? Something that's a perfect square. 16 is a perfect square. 16 goes in 5 times. We have then 4 roots of 5. So this length here is 4 roots of 5. Okay. So you can see that it is not equilateral. It is definitely isosceles. And then the last question is to be able to determine what the area is. And I know that the area of a triangle is equal to 1/2 times base times height. And again, this would be a great question for the ACT. As you notice here, I really don't have a right angle on the triangle, do I? So I know what the base is. What's the base? Close. 8 is the base of your imaginary triangle, but 5 is the actual triangle. And it's okay. Thank you. Thank you for your assertion. We celebrate people who take risks and make answers, so we appreciate that. The height would be 4, yes. And so that's what makes this problem challenging. Some people are like, well, what would the height be? Well, when we draw it on a coordinate plane, it's easy to see that if you go from 2 to 6, it would then have a height of 4. Yep, so the height will be determined as getting from the base to the highest point. And so we do know that that distance is 4. So therefore, 5 times 4 is 20 times 1/2 is 10. So the area is 10 units squared. Okay. Yeah, you know, if you practice, I mean, so we, you know, it's kind of what we do on the weekends. We go, no, not a special class. What's that? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, so your assignment, okay, please write this down quickly because then we're going to go away from it. It's 1.8, page 100, numbers 3 through 6, 27 through 29. And then it says, and type in the quadratic formula to your calculator. So this is a task I'm giving you as well. You need to take your graphing calculator and you need to plug into your programs the quadratic formula. Now, maybe you don't know that, but there's a button on your calculator, PRGM, means program. And you can simply type in the quadratic formula so that your calculator will do it for you, so you don't have to do it manually all the time. So we're going to show you, okay? Because, the reason why I did this, for example, my freezer stopped working at home. What do you do? What do you have to worry about when your freezer stops working? Yeah, exactly. Everything getting ruined. So most people, right, call the freezer repairman, right? I've never called somebody to work on my house except for once. I needed a furnace fixed in the middle of winter. Otherwise, in 15 years, I've done everything myself. So freezer's going out, and so I quick look up some stuff online. I find that I've got a bi-metal defrosting thermostat sitting in the freezer coils. I check for continuity with a wire, a continuity detector and stuff, and sure enough, I have no continuity. I ordered the part on Amazon, shipped to my door 3 days later for 21 bucks. I've installed 7 minutes. My freezer's running. Now, I didn't go to school to learn how to do with fridges, but I do know this. I do know how to search the internet and go on YouTube. So this is why I tell you guys how to do this. You guys are like the generation that should have an advantage on everybody when it comes to learning, and it has to do with your YouTube site. So I'm going to bring that up, and I'm going to show you guys how to find it. Yes, this is probably the shortest formula you can find. It walks you through how to do it. Programs. Go do it.